All right, we are rocking and rolling. I hope we've got set up all the streams here on the Facebook machine, on YouTube. What we're gonna do is, as I'm getting all this stuff set up, satellites are linking. What we're gonna be doing today is talking all about how to get your business found in AI overviews, be found everywhere people are searching. So as you guys are logging on, please just leave me a quick thumbs up or comment. Just make sure that you can hear me as we get started here in about 30 seconds. I'm trying to be festive. Merry Christmas week to you guys. Christmas is just a couple days away, so that's what I think. Perfect time. You know, you guys are busy, holiday shopping and everything. So of course you want to stop what you're doing and you want to watch a webinar about SEO before Christmas. Nothing says Merry Christmas like watching a webinar. We got, oh man, the team at Bursting Silver. What a team. There's some amazing clients I've recently started working with. So we got this. We're rocking and rolling. I checked the sounds. So here we go. All right. So today is going to be all about how to get your potential customers to find your business everywhere they look. You know, this used to be called SEO for search engine optimization, but now with the way that customers change, with the way of the world and with the rise of AI, I've stopped referring it to that. It's no longer search engine optimization. It is now search everywhere optimization. So we want to be everywhere that our potential customers are looking for us. And if we want to do that, there's 5 key elements or 5 pillars that we need to have in place so we can make sure that we are being found by our potential customers where they're looking. And not only are we being found, but we're being found higher than our competition. Because remember, the whole goal of everything we do at our agency, Sean Garner Consulting, is to help the real business owners, the locals that serve their specific local market, to grow their business and dominate online. And how we do that is with StoryBrand messaging, sales funnels, and search engine optimization. So now, like I said, we want to make sure that we're not just showing up in Google, but everywhere our potential customers are going. So what I want you guys to do, if you don't, get a little notepad, open up a Google Doc or something so you guys can script notes and stuff. I talk fast as it is. I've got like 5 cups of coffee in me already. Kids are in the background screaming, so it's going to be a good time. But I want you guys to take notes, share this with another business owner that this could help, because that's our goal here, is to share our knowledge and to serve those people that we're called to serve. So in order for your business to be found in AI search results, is you need to understand this holistic approach to search everywhere optimization now. And there's 5 key pillars for this approach that we need to address and to make sure that we're doing it. And how we need to think about these is, as we're building a house, right? If we have one of those pillars gone, well, I mean, we could probably let's say a table analogy. There's not 5 pillars in a house. We got a table, right? And we've got 5 legs. Well, each one of those that we remove, it's going to cause more instability. So if you're going through this list and we're starting to break these items down, if you're like, okay, yeah, I've done that. Oh, I haven't done that one. That one does not really important to me. No, they're all important to you. The amount of success you have with this, with showing up, 100% dictates on the level of execution that these things are done at. So you need to understand, with all of these different pillars, that's what it is. That's what it requires. Now, you can't just do one of these things. You have to do all of these things. The other thing with them, some of these things are one-time done things. There's some initial foundational things that you need to make sure that are set up properly. And then the others are repetitive, ongoing things. A personal frustration I have in my sector of being a marketing agency is there's a lot of marketing agency owners that are charging clients repetitive retainer fees for one-time done SEO services. And as we go through these different 5 pillars of this holistic SEO strategy, I'm going to make sure I break down for you guys which ones you should be paying for, and then which ones should just be done initially whenever you're typically building a website. So the 5 pillars for this holistic search everywhere optimization, the number 1 is technical. So we call this like technical SEO. whenever you are building your website, some of the things that involve inside of this would be called your site title tags and your meta descriptions. And so this is something that you typically don't see whenever you are looking on a website, but let me show you where you do see this stuff. So whenever you search for something right here, this thing right here that you see typically in these display in the search results, that is your site title tag. And this stuff right here is called your meta description. Now, when you're building a website, if you were just to come here onto their website, you wouldn't see those things. So I will tell you this. This is a plugin I want you guys to get. It's free. I don't make any money. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with these guys, but it's called the Detailed SEO plugin. I love this. And the first time I go look at any potential client's page, I open this plugin up because what that does is I can click on this and it's going to quickly show me some of those technical SEO things to make sure that they're in place. I'm going to make sure that I have my title tag and my meta description in there. When you're doing this on your website, this is stuff typically that is done in the back end. This should be done. This is one of those one-time done things. Now, there's some key things you need to know about creating a good site title tag and meta description. So typically when we're creating these things, we want our site title tag right here to be 60 characters or less. And we want our meta description to be typically 160 characters or less. Don't get too lost in the amount of characters, but the things that you need to know about it that is important is you want to include the main keyword that you want this specific page to rank for, like this one, for example, plumbers in Owasso. We want it to be in there and in the meta description. So then that way, when people are searching for it, we can see it. This is a different page, by the way. We can see it right inside of those search results. The keyword has to be in there, and it has to be, you have to have unique site title tags and meta descriptions for every single page of your website. One of the most common mistakes I see whenever we are auditing websites that people just don't do properly is that this stuff is never filled out properly. And so it just might say home. Well, guess what? If you don't put something on there, Google's going to make it up for you. And Google's going to have Google's best interest in mind with this. They're not going to be thinking about what you want to actually rank for on this page. So as you're building this stuff out, we want to tell it what the purpose of this page is. We also want to make sure that each page that we're building out on our website technically is sound in such a way that each page is only trying to rank for one key word per page. We don't want to have every single page on our website trying to rank for the same thing. That's called cannibalization. You can hurt yourself and you just have to work way harder than you actually need to. The other thing that I want you to look at from a technical standpoint is links. So do we have any broken links on our website? Do we have some internal links that are not really, maybe they're going to broken pages or pages that are 404 or redirect pages? Technically, we want to make sure that all of that stuff is set up properly so that way Google likes our page. So whenever we're talking about AI search results and showing up in all of these places, you need to realize the things that it takes to show up in AI, like ChatGPT, AI overviews, is the same things that Google is taking for account into ranking factors. Where there's some nuances is in the keywords. I would say that's really the only big thing is how you think about keywords has changed. But all of these things, if you want to show up everywhere, all of these things have to be done. So even though I keep referring to Google, it's all the exact same thing to being able to show up into these LLMs, these AI overviews and everything. It all requires the same thing. So Google, they want to make sure that our website is technically sound and we have all of this backend infrastructure in. Whenever we're building a house, right, we want to make sure that it's framed up properly so that it can hold everything. Because if Google's job, these LLMs, they're trying to deliver the best result based upon what people are searching for, technically, it has to be set up and sound. And all of this stuff, like I said, should be here, one and done things. The technical part of your SEO, making sure your site title tags, meta descriptions are done, that should be done when your website is initially built out. That's one of the things I think that makes us unique at our agency is we make amazing websites for customers, but we're not just a website design agency because we tie in that story brand messaging and because we also tie in search engine optimization as a service. That's how we're thinking about building out websites. But unfortunately, what we found is a lot of business owners, they paid somebody that makes a really cool website for them, but they didn't really put the words in that convert, Or they also haven't done this technical side of the SEO. So the site might look great, but because it's not technically sound and set up, Google and these search engines aren't able to crawl it and find it. So that means they're not showing it to your potential customers. Because just because you build a website does not mean it's going to start showing up on Google search, and all these people are going to start, all these search engines and stuff are going to start crawling it and being able to find your website. The second part, so that's the first pillar of our holistic SEO strategy, is the technical SEO. Now, the second part of our holistic SEO strategy is called your user experience. So this is what people are doing when they come to your page. Remember, Google doesn't make money by people going to Google search and just looking for things. Google makes money when people click on ads. So what makes people go back to Google and these search engines is by constantly delivering the best result possible based upon what people are looking for. So if Google wants people to keep using its platform so it can keep making ad revenue, what it needs to do is it needs to ensure whenever it shows a website for a specific result, when somebody comes there, that's what they actually want. And so one of the things that Google uses as a ranking factor for that is how much time people are spending on the site, or something that's called your bounce rate. So if you have imagine somebody coming to Google search and they're looking for something, and if they just click on a page and they immediately click off without doing anything, that's called a bounce. So in the eyes of Google, remember, it's got this complicated algorithm that's trying to always figure out how to show the best results. If somebody was Googling who is the best plumber in Tulsa, they showed this result as number one. And then that customer didn't scroll through, didn't keep clicking on things and take any action on it. And they bounced off and they go back to the SERPs and they click on the next one. Well, in the eyes of Google, they're thinking, okay, I showed this one. Now I need to show that a little bit lower because that obviously didn't match the result of what people were looking for. So one of the things that we can do to improve our UX or user experience on our website is by having really clear, good calls to action, like request service online, call now 24/7. And we need to have very specific, clear calls to action on our website. Too many business owners are losing out on sales and potential because they're being vague or they're hiding their calls to action. They're having something like contact us or learn more. Like, we don't want to do that. If our customers, if we've done all of this work to try to get people to come to our website, don't make it so difficult for people to figure out what it takes to give you money. Be very, very clear and direct. Schedule your call, book your assessment, start your free trial, whatever the main direct thing is. We want to have that on our website because we want to give our potential customers something to accept or reject on our website. And when it comes to our marketing, one thing that we can also do, this is our website. The other type of call to action that we can have on our website is something called a transitional call to action. So some type of a lead generator to where maybe when people come to their website, they weren't ready to take that direct call to action, but we need to give them something else to do to take action on our website so we can, again, follow up with them. That's the whole sales sequence thing that comes later. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to take an action when they come to the website. So having that clear direct call to action, making sure we've got some type of transitional call to action lead generator on there is huge. Another thing that we want for our user experience, and this kind of also tiptoes into the technical side, we want our website to load quick, right? And when people have come to the website and if it's taking too long to load, if it doesn't look well on mobile, maybe it's formatted weird so it's difficult for people to navigate, well, they're not going to sit there and wait, so they're going to bounce, or they're not going to be able to find what they're looking for, so they're going to bounce. So from our user experience perspective and from that technical perspective, we want it to load quick and we want it to be really, really easy to navigate for people to find the information that they're looking for. Other things that we do on this to try and help improve that UX part of it, or user experience for our customers, is give them more things to do on the page. So we can link to relevant blog articles or service pages or sub-service pages based upon what the search result was for them to come down to. But we have to have that pillar in place because we don't want to be driving all of that traffic and then only to have them leave the website. That's going to continue to drop us down in our rankings if we're not getting people to take action whenever Google or these LLMs do show our website and our stuff to our potential customers. So again, that right there, the user experience kind of falls into the same bucket as the technical SEO. those should be done when you're building your website. You should make sure that it's technically sound and that's got a really good user experience. That, however, is what most agencies I have found charge businesses for when it comes to SEO, is doing these technical audits and this technical SEO and doing keyword reporting and stuff, but they're not doing anything to change those results, which is the last three pillars of this holistic SEO strategy. So remember, first thing that we've got our technical SEO for this holistic SEO pillar, so we can show up everywhere on Google, on AI results, in ChatGPT and stuff like that. The second thing that we have is this user experience. So remember, on the technical side, make sure we've got title tags and meta descriptions on all of our pages. It's unique. It's 60 characters or less for the title tag. It's 160 characters or less for the meta description. And each one is unique to the page, and it has the specific keyword that we're trying to rank for on that page. And again, keywords are just things that potential customers are typing in order to have your website found. The second thing is we want a really good user experience. So we want to make sure we got clear calls to action, that direct call to action, that transitional call to action. We want to get the customers to do something on their website, adding videos for them to watch, sales presentations, sales videos and stuff like that, for them to keep them engaged on the website. And we want the website to load really, really quickly. And we want to have those two solid pillars of the SEO strategy set up. Now, the third thing that we need to do in order to complete, or not to complete, but to continue with this holistic SEO strategy is content. We need a content strategy. And so one of the things that Google looks for, and these LLMs and all these crawlers look for, is content. What is the actual content on your page? And so whenever we think about this, there's two parts of this. Number one is the initial structure. What does a page look like? What are the heading structures that you have on your pages? How is your website formatted out as far as like maybe different service areas that you provide, services, subservices, and blogs, things like that, and the content that you have on your page. And then also, how often are you adding content to your page? So Google has, again, like they've got all these crawlers have these algorithms on how they dictate on who to show the results to. One of the things is content. So they want to see not only are you an expert over this topic, but how often and from what different angles are you creating content for around your topic? So when we do this, I think a lot of people think that this is something where I have to I can go to ChatGPT and I can just write me 10 blogs about Tulsa plumber. Like, no, that's not really how it is. So one, Google's a lot smarter than that. These LLMs are a lot smarter than that. What you want to do is it's less about stuffing keywords into an article, and it's more about looking at a topic holistically, so that way you show up as more of an expert on the topic. So what you do is you typically would create something that's called a topical map. You would have your main seed keyword or your topic that you are wanting to make sure that you are showing up as an expert on. And then we want to cover it from all these different angles, because we don't want to just be known for, you don't want to just look like it's called keyword stuffing, where you're just using the same word over and over on your website. Used to maybe work, like 15, 20 years ago, but not anymore. Now, especially in the rise of AI, they want short content that's to the point, that answers the question and showcases that shows the answer for the query or the search result that people are looking for, whether it be on Google or ChatGPT. But you have to, in order to do that, you have to be an expert on your topic or cover it from all the different angles. The other thing when it comes to your content is you want to make sure that you're doing it on a regular and consistent basis. Think about your website as your digital storefront. If you were a physical business, like your brick and mortar facility, if you only went in and unlock the door like once a week or once a month, like you wouldn't expect it to do very well. Same thing should be said and thought of when it comes to our digital storefront or our digital business. If we're not consistently adding things to our business or our website and showing up on a regular basis, why would we expect Google to treat it any differently, right? We want to make sure that we're showing up and we're constantly adding new content to our website. Now, again, using my little favorite tool here, this detailed SEO plugin, one of the biggest content issues that I see with small business owners is their heading structure and how their pages are actually formatted out. So if you click onto the headings tab and you can scroll through here, you can see this page. We have tons of heading structures and everything on this page. It's worked out very well for this client, which we'll show you guys later. But the most important thing is to make sure that each page only has one H1 tag per page for this content that you're building. So your heading structure is way more than just the size of the font that you're using. And what I have found, a lot of web designers that aren't familiar with SEO, what they do is they were just changing the heading tags to make font sizes change without understanding the SEO repercussions that come along with that. So again, using that detailed SEO plugin, self-audit your website. Look, do you have just one title tag or H1 tag per page? Now you can have multiple H2s, H3s, H4s and stuff, and it should be set up in a proper structure, but we want to make sure that we have one per page. And again, this kind of goes back to that technical side. We want to make sure that the main keyword is in that H1, like again, plumbing and Owasso, just like it was in our site title tag and meta description when we were looking at this page. Now, the other part of this is your site structure. So this is called like your site map. So as we're building this out, typically how we like to do it is we want to think about having our core pillar pages. So we're going to have a home page, an about page, a services page, some type of like contact or scheduling page, and then we'll typically format a blog. After we've built those key pillar pages out based upon the industry and their service areas, then we may start to break that site map out or the content out based upon locations and services. So typically we'll start with what we would call sub-service pages. So we don't want to just have like, a plumber services page. We're going to have sub-service pages underneath it. So we would have, water treatment, drain cleaning, repiping, and we have all of these sub-service pages. So each one of those has a very specific page that it's dictated towards the service. Because remember, you want each page to have its own keyword that we're ranking for. So we can't have that all the the main service page rank for all the different keywords. We want to have it be a very specific page, because again, this is how this holistic strategy ties together. Remember that user experience piece that we just talked about. If we show up for a specific result because a highly targeted page, like let's say like drain cleaning, a customer goes on there, well, because that is a very relevant to the search term that they looked on, they are going to have a higher chance of not bouncing off. And so it's going to help that user experience. So it's going to help them to take more actions on your website, which again, Google loves that they showed your website up, somebody took action on it. So it's going to continue to help that page grow up in the rankings that you do. So when it comes to content, what I want you guys to think about is how can you consistently, one, make sure that this is all built out and framed out. The second part of it is how can you constantly add new content to your website? The most common thing to do with this and the easiest way is to structure it out something like a blog. That way you don't have to worry about, building out, design pages every single month, especially if you're a busy business owner. I will say if all of this stuff already is sounding overwhelming, it's like, hey, that's why you hire an agency like us at Garner Consulting, because we do all this stuff for you. You don't even have to worry about it. But the best way for you to do this is with a blog. Now, blogging, it may sound old school. I think that take that idea out of your mind about what it is. Think about more so it's just a way that the website tools are structured so you can easily add content on a regular basis for it. How we like to do it on our website, and you can even see this, is I love video content because I can sit there and I can talk out a topic. And then what we will do is we will embed that video or add that video to a blog post. And then we will write content based upon the video, because I will tell you, do not do this, do not do this, do not do this. Do not go to ChatGPT or Gemini and have it just write a bunch of blog articles for you to add to your website and think that's going to help with your SEO. It is not, because one of the things that those tools don't understand or take into context is all of the other things that are going on with your website. And one of the things that makes content work is if it is unique. If you are just copy and pasting straight out of ChatGPT and stuff with zero context, it's not going to work. So what we like to do is we like to record videos or get our clients' input on topics or write a unique topic that may be somewhat counter the popular opinion. And we will feed that transcript of this video inside of ChatGPT. And then we will take that and we will write blog articles and everything based upon that. Because if we are, again, just trying to recycle ChatGPT stuff, well, we're not going to be unique. And that's not going to make our content show up, and it's not going to rank. And that's the whole point of doing this, is we're not just trying to create busy work for us. We're trying to make sure that we get found by our potential customers. So if you had any type of action item for this, man, it would be figuring out is one, making sure each page on your website only has one H1 per page. You got that really good sitemap built out of the proper pages for your website. And then we are adding new pages to our website on a consistent basis. I think at least once a week, it should be the minimum that you should try and shoot for. And, if you could do, 2, 3 times a week, that's awesome. But we want quality over quantity. Don't just go to AI, ChatGPT, and have it crank out a bunch of articles and everything like that for you. If the video thing seems intimidating for you, it's like about a lot of clients that there are people that we work with that are intimidated of getting on camera and stuff. One of the things that you can do to make it easier for yourself is use like a screen recording service like Loom, and use that to talk out a topic to inject your perspective and your point of view into these LLMs or a ChatGPT to help it write something for you. So then again, same concept gets done is you can now get that information out to start generating an article. Another version even on that, if you're like, I don't even want to do that. Another thing that you can do is use like the voice dictation mode inside of ChatGPT. Like I've talked to ChatGPT before for like 5 to 10 minutes before I let it like interrupt me and create something. So you could say, hey, I'm going to, let's say I was going to do this. Like, hey, I want to create a blog article over a holistic SEO strategy in order to get people to rank on Google and LLMs. And here's my 5 points. And I just go over my 5 points. I give my perspective on the topic and say, now generate me a blog article that's going to rank for how to get your local service business to rank in AI SERP results. But I've given it all my opinion and my context and stuff on the topic. So when it goes to create that article for me, it's not just some random fluff that it searched on the internet and crawled to find. It is my perspective, and it's just helping me to organize my thoughts and rewrite it so I can add that content to my website. That's how I think a lot of people should approach this, and then kind of layering all of this stuff in, making sure clear calls to action for the user experience. Then we've got a good technical sound article where we're also creating those site title tags and meta descriptions and everything for it. And then on the other technical stuff we didn't even get into, making sure we got the image alt text done and the page is just technically and structurally sound. Take a breath. I nerd out on this stuff. So if it's like way overwhelming, don't mean for it to be. I want you to be educated so you are equipped. So you should at least know what, even if you don't do this yourself, I at least want you to know what your agencies that you're hiring should be doing and how they should be thinking through this stuff for you guys. So, okay, holistic SEO strategy. Number 1, we talked about technical SEO. Number 2, we talked about the UX or the user experience. Number 3, we just covered the content strategy. And then number 4 for this holistic pillars of SEO strategy so you show up on Google and LLMs is the authority piece. This part right here is the thing that I think gets neglected the most because it is the one that is very difficult to just see, right? Like with the UX, you can see if a page has good, clear calls to action, if it loads quick. With the site, with the technical stuff, you can see with tools like I showed you guys, that detailed SEO extension, if they've got their site title tags, meta descriptions. From a content standpoint, you can see if they're covering the topic well, if they're knowledgeable on the expert on the subject matter. But on the authority standpoint, that requires a lot of specialized SEO tools to look at like competitors and stuff like that to see how many links that they have. So with authority, that's typically something that you would think that it's called a backlink or a citation. So in the eyes of Google, a backlink is nothing more than another website that Google already knows and trusts and likes, pointing back to your website and linking back to yours. This is nothing more than a digital referral. So you got to think about this. Those other things that we just talked about, anybody can do. Anybody can make sure their site title tags and stuff is done. Everybody can make sure their website loads fast, clear call to action. Anybody can add content and everything to their website. One of the big deciding factors for ranking to help influence it the most is backlinks, because that is the digital referral. So that is one of the things that is the most difficult, time-consuming, and expensive parts of SEO, and that definitely needs to be done on a regular basis. How we get some of this stuff done? Well, as a local service business, the biggest thing that you can do is you can make sure that you're building out all of your citation and directory listings. So think about things like, your Google business profile, which we'll get into in a second, but Yelp directories, local chamber of commerce, if there's local business directories, the more for a local service business owner, the more localized the link is, the more powerful it's going to be. If you've looked into link building or backlinks before, you might have heard things like domain rate or rank or domain power or a domain authority. Those are good and important, but for a local business, it is better to have something that has a lower domain power that is hyperly localized, like your local city's chamber of commerce link or business directory, versus a bigger authoritative website that is like a big, just like national press release thing. They're both good, but if you had to pick one, start local, especially for local service-based businesses. So what you're going to do is reach out to those profiles. A lot of them for local ones are typically paid for services like the local chamber of commerce, local business directories, networking groups, anything to where you can get your website address on their website. That is what you want. The next part of that, the next layer of that is going to be something that's called like digital PR or digital press releases. This is where typically you can do this on your own, but you're typically working with an agency and they are putting out these digital press releases to get your website on, bigger news directories and news outlets. So you're getting more links added to your website. This again is a paid for service. You can't just reach out to your local newspaper, magazine, or anything like that and expect them to add you to your website for free. They realize that it's valuable, so they're going to make you pay for this service. But you have to always be getting links added to your website. Another way that you can get this done, and this is very, very manual, but is doing guest posting. So you can go to other websites that are authoritative in your niche, and you can pay for placement, or you can guest post or write something for their website to get a link of your website added on their website, pointing back to your website. Again, a really good, powerful thing, but it is very, very manual and it takes a lot of time. That's why this is one of the biggest things that we do for our clients, is to help them to build links, because this is one of the biggest deciding factors for Google to see how authoritative your website is. And if you invest the time in this, you will start to see the returns in this, because as it grows exponentially. And so once you start getting links from other places, now you're more authoritative. So other people start linking to you, and it just kind of helps feed the whole machine here of building up your true authority. So ChatGPT, Google, these other crawlers and stuff, they know that you should be ranking where you are, because that's the key to SEO. It's being clear and it's proving it. That's it. You can't trick it. There's no algorithm to hack. It's understanding how they want to see it, so you can clearly show them why you deserve to be where you are. So we have to be constantly adding links, citations, directories to our website if we want it to continue to grow. So number 1, technical SEO. Number 2, user experience. 3 is our content. 4 is our authority and link building. And number 5, the final pillar for building this holistic SEO strategy so we show up everywhere, especially AI search results, is you have to have your GBP or your Google business profile for local SEO. Whenever you go to search for something on Google here, there's a couple places that you can show up. Number 1 is the SERPs right here. This is the search engine result page. How you show up here is by everything that I just said: the technical, the content, the UX, the authority and stuff. That's how you show up number 1 here. If you want to show up number 1 in the map pack, that has other ranking factors. So what this has to do with is proximity to the searcher, like how close are you to this business? The second one is obviously the keywords, but the other main one is reviews and review velocity. So you can see here our client, Half Moon Plumbing Electric, they crush it with reviews. This is one of the things that we always do for our clients, is making sure that they have some type of automated review request out. Because if you just rely on your teammates or your team members to collect these reviews for you, they're going to get busy. They're going to forget. So we want to have some type of a process to consistently be collecting these reviews on our Google business profile. The other thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that our profile is actually fully completed out. So whenever you click in and you go to your profile, you want to make sure that all your business description is filled out. All of your services and your service descriptions are filled out. You can see like we've got literally like dozens of services and services descriptions and stuff added to our GBPs for our clients. Constantly be adding photos to our website or our GBP on a regular basis. Adding posts to it. Again, Google wants to see that we're active on our platforms, just like on our website. They want to make sure that we're using all of their tools that they provide. We constantly want to be optimizing and adding content to this. The biggest mistake I see with businesses when it comes to this is number one, they have it, but they've never completed it. So whenever you log in, make sure that it is actually, you at least see the green little circle right there, that it's at least completed. Go into your profile, edit your profile, and make sure that it's all the way filled out. The other thing is collecting reviews on a regular basis. This should be automated. We automate this for our clients or ensure that it's automated for them, because if you're not consistently doing it, one of the key factors is review velocity. So this is how, especially if we have a newer business, we get them to outrank in the map pack higher than legacy competitors because we get reviews quicker. So let's say you have a competitor that's been in business for a long time and maybe they've got, like 4,000 reviews. Well, if we can, but they're not, you can tell it's not automated. They're not getting reviews on a regular basis. And then we come in, we automate it. And so now we're getting, a couple of reviews, dozens of reviews a day, depending on the service and stuff that we have. Well, now because our review velocity is going up, Google is like, oh, wow, this new thing must be super popular. I should show it higher because they're getting a lot more attention quicker than somebody that doesn't really seem to be active anymore. So it's not always just about the total reviews that you have. It's also about the review velocity and how quickly you're getting those reviews. The other thing that we want to do is we obviously want to reply to all of these reviews. We can use AI to automate this and everything for us now, but we don't want to leave any reviews unreplied to. Especially, and this is less for SEO and more for just winning over customers, especially if it's a bad review. Because think about this is what I do. Whenever I'm going to go to a business, the first thing I do is I look at total reviews and then I look at the bad reviews. I want to say, okay, wow, like we're going to a restaurant. I want to see how many reviews this place has. And then I instantly just click on, I want to look at the lowest reviews because I want to see one, what was the person actually complaining about? And then two, how did the business respond to it? That I think you have a better opportunity to stand out as a business from just winning over customers. This doesn't have anything to do with SEO, but just to win over customers by how you respond to bad reviews versus how many good reviews. Because the opposite side is if you went to a business that looked perfect, you're going to kind of be suspicious of that. You're like, something's going to, what have they messed up before? Are they gatekeeping reviews? Like you're going to be more suspicious about that versus the one that does have a couple of 1-star reviews because somebody got mad about something, but you want to see how the business owner handled it. So making sure you guys respond to those. I wouldn't automate that part. Typically what we do is we automate all 5-star review responses because everybody's happy. That's great. But anything 4-star or below, we want to have the business owners or you go in and because you have context of the situation. So with the 4 stars, we hopefully can get them up to 3 and 4 stars. We can get them to come up to a 5-star. And then those 1s and 2s, let's figure out what the situation is. Because if we've handled it correctly, we've got lots of clients that they turn those 1 to 2 stars into 5 stars just based upon how they did it because somebody just wanted to be heard in the moment. And so making sure you do respond to those does help with SEO, but if especially those lower ranking ones will help you convert more customers. The other thing that we want to do with this Google Business Profile to make sure that we're showing up for the local SEO part is adding Google Posts. Now, this doesn't need to be something that needs to be overthought of. We just want to show that we're active on the platform. Adding posts like a weekly update is fine. A couple times a week is good. But we also want to be adding photos to this. Remember, we're just trying to show action on the thing that we're in here. We're using the thing and it's all set up and fully optimized. So this is what it looks like when it's done right. So to have this holistic SEO strategy means our technicals are in check. Our user experience is solid. We've got a consistent content strategy. We are building authority with consistent links, and our GBP, our Google Business Profile, is optimized. What that means is domination. So this website right here, this is one of our clients, Half Moon Plumbing Electric. We already were looking at their technicals and stuff. We can see just the homepage right here. It's set up. But this is where it all starts tying together, which is exactly what you guys are here for, is how does that affect these AI overviews? When your holistic SEO strategy is in place, that carries over to AI. So I vote, who's voted the best plumber in Tulsa? Look right here, the AI overviews. Best plumber in Tulsa, Half Moon Plumbing. You can see where it's sorting their sites from, sourcing their sites from, is pulling from their website, the BBB, stuff like that. Go to ChatGPT. I just ran a temporary chat. Who's the best plumber in Tulsa? Hey, guess what? Half Moon Plumbing. You can see it's crawling their website because we played this holistic SEO strategy in place. And then whenever we're just looking again, how it all ties in, Tulsa Plumber. And when we come down here, the SERPs, the number one on the SERPs is their website right here, halfmoonplumbing.com/Tulsa Plumber. Then when we also start wanting to look at their GBP and how they're ranking in the map pack, they're number one here because they've got that reviews automated. We've got a consistent process with updating and optimizing their profile. Like that's what it looks like when you start dominating. So think about your business, your industry. What would it look like for you to be number one in your industry for your market? It's got to be someone. So why not you? I will tell you, it's not going to happen by accident. It happens by being intentional and making sure if you want to rank number one in Google, in LLMs like ChatGPT, these AI overviews and stuff, you have to have this holistic SEO strategy in place. You have to make sure you're technically sound. You have to make sure it's got that good user experience, creating content, building links, got the Google business profile set up with all of the citations, directories, and you're all the places. You're a busy business owner, and that's going to be a lot of work to do. But that's exactly why we do what we do at Sean Garner Consulting. So if this sounds awesome to you and you're like, man, I want that, I would love the opportunity to speak with you. Go to our website, seangarner.co. You can click on the schedule a call button, book a call time right here. This is with me. When you get on this call, it is going to be with me. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a complete review, you and me, over all of your current SEO, how your business is performing. We're going to have tons of data reports and everything that we go over with you because I want you to understand what's possible for you and for your business, because that's what we exist to do here is we want to serve these local service business owners just like you so you guys can grow your business. You can dominate online because domination to me is not about crushing your competition. I believe that everybody is called to serve a specific group of people. And if you are not standing out to where they can find you will not be able to serve the people that you're called to serve. So to me, domination is doing the best version of you that you can. And so that's exactly, we help business owners just like you guys implement SEO strategies just like this into their business every single day so they can get results just like we were showing you guys with Half Moon Plumbing and Electric. Love the opportunity to show you how we can implement strategies just like this for your business. So hopefully this gave you guys a sneak peek of what is possible for your business. It's a lot of work, but when it's done right, the rewards are awesome. If you truly want to grow your business and dominate online, you have to implement this holistic SEO strategy. And at Sean Garner Consulting, we can help you do that. So love the opportunity to connect with you guys. Again, just go to the website, seangarner.co. Click on the schedule a call button, book a call with me. Let's review your business so we can show you how we can help you grow and dominate online. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. We're going to be doing these webinars every single month. I'm training on a different topic just to kind of educate you guys. So as a business owner, you can make the best decision for your business so you can grow and dominate online. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon.